Hey, what's going on? We are the Rob and Holly Show. We're at Tortuga Music Festival with Kassi Ashton, who just played the main stage.
It's a big one. Shucks.
How's it feel?
I mean, amazing. You know, when you're growing up as a little kid and you want to be a country music singer, those are the kind of stages that you picture. So when you finally, you grind and you work and you make it to a stage that big, even if it's at 2:15, you're like, I know what to do
but
today.
the Tortuga people know how to party, and they were there
know how
for
to
you.
party. And it's the moment I would just point, they would just. It was dance. It was great. I loved it.
Isn't it great to just look out at the ocean and all those people on the boats are partying and listening as well?
It's a rough day at work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not too bad. Can I tell you something that
Yes.
I keep saying, and I don't know how you're going to take this.
That's okay.
So
I'm ready.
I mean it in the best possible way, but when I describe you to somebody, I describe you as a man-eater. I'm like, she's a man-eater.
What is the
Thank
definition?
you.
What's the
Thank
definition
you.
of a man
Okay,
eater?
will you take that? Like, will
Yeah.
you okay.
Happily. I need
You're
a
a
pin.
girl's girl.
to put
I
on my
feel like
head.
you're a
I
girl's
am.
girl. But
I
I was
am.
like, when she gets on the stage, man, she just looks like a man eater.
I feel like.
So I mean it as like
Yes.
you're sexy and
Is that a Hall &
powerful.
Oates- Isn't that a Hall & Oates song?
Yeah, like she's a man eater.
Yeah, I feel like, you just like, life is short. And I'm human and you're a human and everybody in the crowd is human. So we might as well just own it. And maybe if I'm confident and I do my strut and I do my stare, then at least one person in the crowd is going to feel like they can do that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can I empower you with my swag? How can I give you my energy so maybe you feel like you can overcome whatever is holding you down? So that's a huge compliment.
Where do you think the swagger?
Here's what I
what's
took it
that?
as. She literally puts a hex on every man
Yes.
in the audience as well. I'm like,
You're like, behave.
with your siren self. I was
Behave.
No, and well, we've experienced that because we saw you at the Ryman in Nashville recently, and you did a little bit of an intro. To Called Crazy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And what was it? Any guy who called me crazy always called me back.
Yes, always calls me again.
How is the start of that song? We want to know the story behind, like, where were you, what were you thinking, and what were you drinking when that song came about?
It really just like popped into my head one day, like cold hard truth, right? This is not some poetic thing. This is not an intelligent thing that I twisted. It's any man who has ever called me crazy. It's called me again. This is no longer an insult because you can't hide that you love it. So what do you think is gonna make me stop acting
me,
crazy?
it's you. Yeah.
And so I remember like a year ago trying it out at a radio guitar pool, and I just said the first hook. Come back for more. Girls just screamed. And I was like, okay, so it is a universal truth.
It really is.
Let's do it. And I was lucky enough to co-write it with Jared Keim and Emily Wiseman. And Emily is fabulous. And I said the line to her and she sang it just as you hear it in the song. And it was just one of those things that like instantly we were all like, oh, smash. Let's do it.
And what were you guys drinking when that happened?
It was about 11 a.m. So I'm going to say coffee.
And water. Yeah.
Spiked maybe, but mostly coffee.
I love that.
I will say that now, like I'm married. I've been married for a while now.
Yes.
I think we're coming up on 9 years.
Congrats.
And thanks. Well, me and my wife, I'm like, you're crazy, and she's like, you're also crazy. So after a while, you're like,
Mutual.
We're all just crazy.
Mutual. There's a line in the second verse of this song that says, push in my buttons, don't act like you don't love it. I literally wrote that line about my fiance. And I like came home and I was like, you.
It's all about you.
This is your line, just so you know. Like, your favorite activity.
You just got to find what your crazy is.
Exactly.
Like what the crazy compliments the other crazy.
We would hate for life to be boring. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
I like to live in chaos myself.
Yes.
Yes.
It's more fun.
I can attest to that. Where I was going to say earlier, we talked about swagger.
Uh-huh.
You definitely have it.
Thank you.
Like, do you feel like you always had it? It's just the way you walk. When you walk onto a stage,
Thank you.
it's
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah.
I think it's a multitude of things. One, I grew up in dance my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I've been on stage since I was 4, right? And I think it also comes from my kind of mental philosophy of like, this is your one shot on this day for this crowd on this stage. You gotta do it. Like, if you are born to do this, then show me that you are born to do this. And then I also think on like a personal level, I was bullied a lot. Middle school, high school, like I was the weird girl in a small town, and you have to learn to love yourself through that. you have to learn to be your biggest cheerleader, to think no matter what anyone says, I know I'm the shit. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And so and then I realized that if I brought that energy on stage, other people might pick it up too and feel good about themselves.
How
Heck
funny.
yeah.
I'm trying to imagine you getting bullied as a kid. 'cause
I feel like
can't.
you would kick some ass if
I
you were
feel like
getting
I got in
bullied.
literally
trouble.
kick their asses.
I won't go into it, but I'll never forget this one time. Thank God my high school principal was my friend. He pulled me into the office. Like, he would have to act like he was mad at me. His name was Mr. Height. He would have to act like he was mad at me, and I'd go in his office and he'd be like, did you have to throw the chair? And I'd be like, yes, I did. And he'll be like, okay, all right. He's like, all right, well, just go home. Just go home. Come back tomorrow. I'm like, peace. See you later.
Did you have to throw the
Did you have to throw the
Yes.
chair? I was like, I did.
I thought you were gonna say, did you have to throw like the girl, like you
The
like you
person,
tossed
yeah.
somebody?
Nah.
Toss
You
in
just
the-
kill him with your stare.
Tossing
Yeah.
the chairs easily as
Yeah, a
effective.
cafeteria chair, they're lightweight, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we're
God.
gonna continue to have a blast here at Tortuga. Kassi Ashton, thank you so much for hanging with
oh
us.
my gosh,
Yay, we
thank
love
you.
you.
I love you guys.
We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Bye.